Hi there, today we're going to be doing total strip and rebuild on a Monster Bow Phoenix. Bits we need for today: one Allen key wrench set, bow scale, one of the original Monster Bow wedges, some micro wedges, a string about 44 inches or so long. It's not really, doesn't really matter how long it is, but 44, 45 seems to work for me. And two straight arrows, unfletched, makes it easier for me. Okay then, let's get to it. So, the first thing we've got to do is take a little bit of pressure off the limb bolts. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use the old wedges here to take off the string, take it off, and then insert these micro wedges. So before we get on, I'll just show you the micro wedges. So all they are, they're a little bit of ply that I've cut. This is about 6mm here, a couple of mil here just to take up the slack for, get it there, the little bolt that comes through here. So that allows the hinge here to close right down but not fully, support the weight of the thing there so it doesn't put excess strain on the hinge, takes the pressure off the limb bolt, makes it a lot easier to do. So let's get to it. Okay, so just in case you haven't seen my old video, take the extra bit of string, pop it on the limb tips, gives you something nice to stand on if there's slightly uneven ground. Draw it back, slot the wedges in, and then just off with it. So the ends. See how they're nicely in there. So, take the string off. Then get the micro wedges. Get the long bit of string. Pop it on. And then off with the long string again. And here you see how the micro wedges are in there. Yeah, the hinge itself, on the side, is closed but not fully touching. So that takes the pressure off the limb bolt, which we're going to deal with next. So first thing to do is make sure that you mark up the limb bolt. Just a little bit of silver, dot of silver paint or something, and then count. So with this, if you just do one at the top, one at the bottom, one at the top, one at the bottom, and make a note of it on a bit of paper or a couple of little screws or bits of paper or bits of twig, just so you don't forget. Okay, so I'll just move this around onto my work table and let's have a go at it. Okay, so it's always easy to have a routine on doing things like this, so I always start at the top, go to the bottom, top, bottom, that way you're never confused. So, in it goes, just do it on one at the top, one on the bottom, another one on the top, another one on the bottom, and so on. See, because I've released the pressure here, 3 turns, and look at it already. Just totally without any sort of pressure on the boat though. So I'll just undo it properly, or further, so I can just easily take the cables off. I'll give another one there. Another one there. Okay. Everything's nice and loose now, and I'll just then take the cables off. So when you take the cables off, on the top pocket here, you see a little screw with a washer on it. So you have to just loosen that off, don't take it out, otherwise the whole axle will fall off there. But that washer there just presses down and holds the actual serving down on the cable. So let's just undo it. Okay. Okay. So I've given that 3 turns to allow me enough room to slide that out. So I'll do top and bottom. One, 2, 3. Okay, lovely. Okay, so now time to unhook it. So just unhook it one side and unhook the other side. Chase it around here and then just lift it out past the little washer, which always falls down. There. And we have one cable. Same with the other side. One off there. One off there. Onto the top. Just unhook it. Give it a little wiggle. So these washers always slide down. Into there. See? Things ever so straightforward, is it? Oh. And there we are. Okay, so the important thing here now is to make sure that both cables are exactly the same length. Now, trying to stretch them by hand and put a tape measure up to them doesn't really work. So what I've devised, which is where this comes in, is a method of trying to make sure that the cables are the same length. So what I do, I'll show you in a minute, is I've made a little, basically, a couple of pieces of wood down there with a screw in it for one end of the cable. This is attached to the other end of the cable, and what I use is the scale here on the bow scale, and I twist and untwist the cable on here so both cables are exactly the same length. You can have a little bit of variance one way or the other. That just adds or takes off on preload. So I know these cables are pretty set up for this bow, so all I'm going to do is make sure that over time one hasn't stretched more than the other, and they'll both read exactly the same when they go back on. So let's see if you can see it from there. Okay, this is a screw on one end of the cable. I attach it onto here, and then it goes directly out of the camera side. I'll move it down. Let's have a look. Just down here to this end. So I'll just go move it up because the camera's about to fall over onto there, and then take a better look. So, as you can see here, this is the bow scale. just move that back until it touches there. Zoom in on what it reads. Let it sit for a few minutes so that as it's gone over the saddle it will all, have a little kink in it and things. So put it there, go make a cup of tea because I'm ready for a cup of tea at the moment. I'll come back, see exactly what it is, and then dial the other one in. Both cables will be the same, and they can go back on the bow. Simple as that. Okay, so now we can see bow scale in place. Here we have the little bit, move it back so it goes no further. Read off the scale here, let it sit for a few minutes just so everything settles down. Do exactly the same with the other, and then we'll just twist one way or the other, dial both cables in so they're exactly the same length, and it can just go back on. Simple as that.
Okay, so there we are. It reads just a fraction under 45, 46, 47, 48. So length of this bow cable is just under 48. Do the same on the next.
As you can see, this one's 47, or just touching 47, so what I'll do is I'll put a few more twists in it and take it up to 48. So on here, and there we are. Just make sure that's nice and secure, and that is just a tad under 48. It's as simple as that. It's really fine tuning on it. All I'll do now is I'll just let that sit for a moment, let all the fibres and the string settle down, and be ready to put that one on. So I've let that sit for a few minutes, checked it again, no change at all. So all I'll do now, take this cable off, hold the ends so no twist come in or off, and transfer it straight over onto its little pins here.